Hey, hey, hey. Here we are. Just giving everyone a moment here to join if you're out there. So today is March 19th. It is 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hello, everybody that's just joining us. Oh, Kevin. Hey, Kevin. Playing? Are you practicing? You still playing this year, Kevin? And I see Zaffron. Zaffron, are you on your phone right now while I'm talking? Haha, little out of school humor. Shannon, how are you doing, Shannon? Again, I'm not using anyone's last names to protect your identity from the 5 people watching this right now, just in case one of them's I see Shannon here. I see Ed. Danny's here. I hope this is not too glitchy. I know I saw the replay of the first one I did on Tuesday, and it was a little glitchy. Some of the video cut out. I don't know if that was on my end or it's just that everyone in the area right now is using Wi-Fi and broadband, and it's just the way that YouTube's going to be. But anyway, I hope this is sort of like interesting to you at some point. I see Madison has joined. Hi, Madison. You guys can have your own little chat in the chat area. That's fine. So I hope you all have been relaxing, being somewhat productive. Just as a reminder, in case you didn't watch the show on Tuesday, it was a blockbuster. I do have assignments that I've been posting on Schoology. These are not assignments that you have to do for a grade. These are assignments just if you're bored and you feel like doing something. And I'm also offering extra credit if you decide to do them and do them incomplete and fully and turn them in. I will be more than happy to apply that to your current grade in the third marking period, which right now is in limbo. We don't know exactly what's going on, so stay tuned for more information. I know nothing in regards to how we're proceeding after these 2 weeks that we're officially off. And again, if you're missing any assignments, they're all on Schoology for, I'd say probably 90% of what we do. I am also offering at any point during this hiatus, if you go ahead and do them and submit them in full, that I will, of course, give you full credit for that, which will certainly pump up your grade even more. Although I see most of you here in this chat room all have pretty nice GPAs in the class anyway, but this will at least give you an opportunity to pull them up. Please feel free to ask me questions. I will try to keep up with the live chat that's going on. I'm sure you guys will start your own little things anyway. Never a disappointment. So keeping in the theme of the Daily Stoic, I did a little bit on Tuesday with you guys. I'm going to read one from today because I think it's apropos. And again, I get this from following the Daily Stoic. I'm kind of into the whole movement of Stoicism. I think it's pretty neat philosophy in life, if you will, and I think it's very applicable to what we're going through right now. But I'm going to go ahead and read, and little life lesson, little knowledge bombs being dropped here. So feel free to listen or continue with your little side chats that you're doing there. It's like being in class. This is kind of fun. All right, anyway. So it's possible, Marcus Aurelius said, to not have an opinion. You don't have to turn this into something, he reminds himself. You don't have to let this upset you. It's not that the Stoics lived in a world where people didn't do bad things or a world free from rudeness and cruelty. On the contrary, those things were far more prevalent in Rome than they are today. Arguable. But what the Stoics worked on was not letting these things get to them, not letting it provoke them to anger. So if someone insulted Cato, he pretended not to hear it. When someone attacked Marcus Aurelius's character, he tried to think about the character of the person saying it. When someone said something offensive to Epictetus, he told himself that if he got upset, he was as much to blame as they were. He also joked that if they really knew him, they'd be even more critical, right? So sometimes we get offended or upset when someone says something to us that is critical. And if we stop and think, well, if you really knew me, you'd have a lot more ammunition there. It wasn't that Stoics were apathetic, meaning they didn't really care. It wasn't that they had no care, or they never tried to change the world. Clearly, they wouldn't have been engaged in politics if all they cared about was the status quo. Why would Seneca have written all those letters if he didn't believe that he could have an impact on people? It's just that the Stoics saw only danger in getting angry. They refused to be provoked. They tamed their temper so they could work. I'm sorry, they tamed their temper so they could do the work they believed they needed to do. And that's what you must also do. You don't have to have an opinion. You don't have to turn things into bigger things. You can control your emotions. You can do what you need to do. And as one of the popular memes going around TikTok, I think I could sum it up with, it is what it is. I don't know how did I do on that one. Holy moly. You guys really have your own little thing going on here. Shannon, you sent that same message 4 times, just letting you know. How many people actually listened to that little Daily Stoic thing that I read, or were you just live chatting while I was reading those that that pearl of wisdom? Uh-oh. Is that Colin? Is Colin in the room now? I see Sage. Hi, Sage. I miss hearing you say hi every morning. I gotta be careful. I can't really insult anyone because now we actually have live footage of it and proof. So I gotta really be careful, right? So yeah, there he is. How's the video, by the way? Is the video like clippy? Is it cutting out here and there? I can't really tell over here. Everything looks good from my end, but by the way, for those of you who weren't with me on Tuesday, uh, the art behind us, this is Renoir. You can enjoy some of the beautiful Renoir prints. Kind of have a thing for impressionists, the impressionist era in painting, like Monet and Monet, little Van Gogh. This is Renoir. All right, cool. So is everyone staying out of trouble? Is anyone doing any kind of schoolwork at all? That's hey hey, by the way. Shannon, if you're talking about, it's hey hey from what was that show? Oh, Moana. That was Moana. Yeah, it's hey hey, the rooster or chicken. I don't know. Looks like a rooster. Um, so is anyone doing any schoolwork out there? Any reading? Anyone reading any good books lately? This is an excellent time to catch up on your reading. Good job, Sage. By the way, Mr. Lee has offered extra credit. There are assignments on Schoology that pertain to the Industrial Revolution. I know you all missed that, the Industrial Revolution. We're kind of in suspense, but there are some extra things if you feel like killing some time. Uh, go for it. Fill them out, read it. I don't need extra credit. Well, you never know. We all could use a little extra credit from time to time, not just for boosting our grade, but for boosting our intellect. Oh, I have a riddle for you, and no one's allowed to Google this. It's not really a riddle, but a little exercise for your brain. But you're not allowed to Google this. See if you can actually use the original Google. So only 2 states in the United States have names that begin with 2 consonants. What are they? Again, only 2 states out of all 50 that begin with 2 consonants, no vowels. 2 states. So I want to see who comes up with the answers first, as you're all trying to Google it. Two states, just consonants, no vowels. So in the meantime, you guys don't have, are any other teachers giving you assignments or? So we got Florida. Florida is true. Nick, Arkansas begins with a vowel. But you got Florida. There's one more. It's tough. Almost every single one of them have a vowel in the first two letters. Well, 48 of them do. Florida is one of them. What's the other one? Nick, Arkansas begins with the letter A, which is a vowel. Typing in caps will not make it more right. But you are correct on Florida. Yay, Miss Cantwell's giving work. All right. Secretly, we're not allowed to give you work. But it's really not work. It's extra credit. Shannon Jackson with the answer. So Nick and Shannon, you win the prize. Next time I see you, you get a prize. I don't know what it's going to be. So Rhode Island and Florida are the correct answers. I have another riddle for you, but I'll save that for a second here. Be some sort of prize for you if we come back to school, which I'm sure we will. I'm sure we will. Yeah, so try to do a lot of Khan Academy. You know, pick a course. There's so many courses to do. Pick something that you might be interested in. I mean, it could be anything. Not everyone's interested in coding. You know, that's like the thing everyone wants to push, and it's great. It's cool if you want to learn how to do it. But there are many other classes that you could take. You know, Duolingo is a cool option for learning a language. So while you have all this downtime in between TikToks, you know, pick a language and start practicing with Duolingo. There's many programs, of course. I also have Rosetta Stone. I like Rosetta Stone a lot. But Duolingo right there on your phone, it's probably the best way to learn language. You know, no offense to, you know, it's we teach language in school, and that certainly is helpful. But you know, look, let's be honest. The best way to learn a foreign language is you have to learn how to you have to say it every day. You have to learn to read it, speak it, write it. If you think about how you learned English, you pretty much did it the same way. In fact, you didn't write it. You just started listening to people speak in English, and you just started to copy them. That's probably the best way to learn any foreign language, is just to hear it a lot. And I like with Rosetta Stone and Duolingo, is they put pictures to the words. And if you think about it, that's how you learned English. You would hear your parents or whomever speak, and they would be saying something as they were pointing to this or holding this, and you just eventually learned that this was the word for that. You associated the sound with the picture. And what's nice about those apps is that they do the same thing. And you know, again, it's repetition. Someone like me coming from an instrumental background, you know, it's repetition is the key. You're just doing something over and over and over. And again, assuming you're doing it right, doing it correctly, because if you do something wrong over and over, then you're teaching yourself how to do it wrong. But don't be afraid of making mistakes. Just jump in and do it. You know, you didn't learn English perfectly, and many of us are still not have mastered the English language, so that's okay. But if you want to check out, you know, practical languages, Spanish, of course, would be probably the number one in the United States. French is always nice. I guess most practical though, especially on here on the coasts like East or even West Coast, would imagine Spanish is probably the one to go with if you're going to take the time to learn more than one language. It's surprising too, and we should know this from our school district, how many how many different kids do speak more than one language. It's pretty neat, actually. We have a lot of students obviously speak Spanish, but we have a good amount that can speak in the Russian or Ukraine. I mean, they're separate, of course. Languages. We have German, which is pretty cool. I don't know if you guys have noticed in my classroom, there's some post-it notes up behind my desk that I had. Um, a lot of the kids write in their native language. And again, we're talking in India, there's any number of languages. But and Chinese, Korean, Vietnamese is pretty neat. And it's neat to see that their families continued with their traditional language of their heritage, but obviously also speak English. So we actually have a lot of kids in Ben Salem that can speak more than one language, which is pretty cool, I think. Um, the rest of us kind of, I think we have to jump on the game here a little bit and uh, and get on it and start learning another language. It's kind of neat. So use this time wisely. We don't know how long. Well, we do know at least 2 weeks, right? And here we are. We're sort of at least, well, slightly more than halfway through the first week. But if this does continue on, try to come out of this better. Try to come out of this more knowledgeable. Read, read is the key. Reading is the key. It really is. What else we got out there? Any questions for me? You guys are all doing your own thing on the chat. Again, it's like being in class. Oh, there's Jack. Hi, Jack. Jack likes his emojis. He went over the limit there, unless that's some sort of secret kid language that I haven't learned how to use yet. Everything's going well here. I'm helping. I have two. For those of you who know, I have two children, and they're doing their work, their schoolwork. They got a lot of work actually from their teachers, so they're plenty occupied each day. They're both in elementary school, so and each day they have math, they have science, they have a social studies component. There's a writing component that they use, and what's kind of cool. I really like and respect what they're doing is they're also including the special areas. So they're sort of following their same. If they would have had been in school, they're still following. Hey, on Monday I have art, Tuesday music, Wednesday gym, and each special area teacher library is assigning something so that they also can kind of get something to do with their specials in, which I thought was pretty cool. Uh, I haven't seen many TikToks lately. I haven't really been on. To be honest with you, I've been really studying and obsessing over just the whole COVID-19, the virus itself, just learning the anatomy, learning the science behind it, learning what the real actual medical and scientific experts are thinking about it, and what's happening in other countries, and how they've been dealing with it. So I've been just really trying to get myself an education on this, um, because there's a lot of also misinformation out there. So I would warn you guys: be careful of where you're getting your information from. Um, there's a lot of just again, and understandably so. There's a lot of panic, and certainly people are concerned. But sometimes that panic can lead to us sort of not listening to the right people and allowing our emotions to take over rather than our brain. So, keep listening to the experts. Right now, everything's just about being safe and keeping your distance, and not treating this like a holiday, like a vacation or a snow day, but respecting. Fortunately, it looks like many of us would be very fine. But we got to think about those people who may not be, and I certainly don't want to be someone who is a carrier to them. So even though I think I might be fine and feel fine and can handle it, I would hate. I have some neighbors around me just on my street that are elderly and sort of fall into the class of folks that tend to have more severe reactions to this virus. So it's out of respect for them that I need to keep myself isolated and not going out there and spreading it around kind of thing. So I think if we all just take care of each other that way, we'll certainly weather this and come out on the other side and with a lot more knowledge. Hopefully good things come from this challenge. We've seen, I think, where some things are not um, perfect in our healthcare system, in our government, and maybe this experience is sort of will end up being a wake up call, and some of the things that are not real efficient, we can fix them for the future. Because there'll be more things like this in the future for sure. It's inevitable. We've all studied it in history this year. In fact, in world history, we have studied almost every century. There has been some illness or disease that has affected the world population. So this is certainly no, well, I shouldn't say that it's no different. It's has the potential to be one of those things, but it might not be. We just don't know yet. But either way, I think that the idea is to learn from every experience, every situation. How can we be better? And then next time around, something does happen, that we're better prepared for it. And really, that's all we can do, and live life. So what's going on here? Let's see here. Wow, you guys have all these like inside jokes, which I obviously have no idea what the heck you're talking about. Oh, I got a riddle for you. All right, ready? So if today is Saturday and you have to clean your bathroom 2 days after the day before, the day after tomorrow, when do you have to clean your bathroom? I'll read that again. If today is Saturday and you have to clean your bathroom 2 days after the day before, the day after tomorrow, when do you have to clean your bathroom? And just don't start guessing days. Yes, you have a 1 in 7 chance of getting it correct. I'll say it again. If today is Saturday, so let's say pretend it's Saturday, even though it's Thursday. Today is Saturday, and you have to clean your bathroom 2 days after the day before, the day after tomorrow. When do you have to clean your bathroom? So today's Saturday, and you have to clean it 2 days before. I'm sorry, 2 days after the day after tomorrow. Monday, no. Don't just guess all of the days, Shannon. She's going Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Come on. What do we think? There she goes. There she goes. Think about it. Oh God, I have to break this down, don't I? I do. So today's Saturday, and you have to clean your bathroom 2 days after the day before, the day after tomorrow. So if today's Saturday, what's the day after tomorrow? Would be, so tomorrow would be Sunday. The day after tomorrow would be Monday. Now this is asking you have to clean. I'm sorry, and you have to clean your bathroom 2 days after the day before, the day after tomorrow. When do you have to clean your bathroom? So if today's Saturday, we have to do this then on Tuesday. All right, Tuesday is my guess before the day after tomorrow. Yeah, it'd have to be Tuesday. Yeah, because the day after tomorrow would be Monday, right? Tomorrow, Sunday, the day after tomorrow would be Monday. You do this 2 days after the day before. So 2 days, so we bring that back to Sunday and then add those 2 days, and that is Tuesday. Tuesday. Let me go look at the answer. What page is it on? Yep, the answer is Tuesday. This is a great book, by the way. I held this up on Tuesday. Lots of knowledge, lots of useless knowledge. By the way, did you know between Memorial Day and Labor Day, Americans consume 7 billion hot dogs? 7 billion hot dogs between Memorial Day and Labor Day. That's a lot of hot dogs. So you didn't know that. Aren't you glad you tuned in today? Oh, oh, I know. Let's do, what's the shape of Italy? It's clearly, some people would say it's a boot, but now I sound like I'm Canadian. It's a boot. Did I just walk into a joke there? What's the shape of Italy? A boot. About what? Did you hear that effervescence? Seventh grade me thought it was the coolest thing in the world. What? This is good stuff, by the way. Mountain Valley sparkling water. Anyone from the what mountain range is this one from? This is from the Ouachita mountain range in the United States. Ouachita. Yes, that's how you spell it. Ouachita. Well, I'm sorry. That's how you say it. Ouachita. It's full of all kinds of good little particles: magnesium, sodium bicarbonate, copper. Oh, I missed it. What did Ed put? What appears once in a minute, twice in a moment, and never in 1,000 years. Yeah. Let's go in then. The letter M. Why does everyone always bust on Ed? I have to know. Why does everyone do this? And Ed's a good sport. He takes it really well. It took me a minute to come and get it. I think you Googled it, Ed. I'm not going to lie. You Googled it. Cyberbullying is bad and all, but there's an I'd say that's not nice. It's not right. We all have to raise each other up. We don't tear each other down. Wow. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, this day in history. You ready for this? Hold on. This day in history. All right. So on March 19th in 2003 is the war in Iraq begins. Right? The war in Iraq begins in 2003. So in our first, well, not first, sorry, the second George W. Bush announced that we were having a coalition of forces, us and mostly Great Britain, trying to oust the old dictator Saddam Hussein. Yeah, this was in 2003, which I believe you guys were at least born, right? 2003. Most of you were what, 1 or 2, something like that. And we still have troops over there now, and you can see something. 2003, it's just 2020. Sometimes when you get involved in it, well, not sometimes, many times when you get involved in these wars, you're there for a really long time afterwards, and we're still there to this day. In 1931, Nevada, the state of Nevada, legalizes gambling. So there you go. During the Great Depression, so we don't have a lot of money going around. By all means, let's bet. Let's try to win some money legally as opposed to illegally. In 1916, it was the first United States air combat mission in World War I. Remember, 1916. This is 2 years, by the way, before the Spanish flu in 1918. A little bit of extra history for you. Let's see. The Vietnam War in 1970, there was a national emergency declared in Cambodia. And in 1966, in sports, Texas Western defeats Kentucky in the NCAA finals. So that's a little March Madness. We're having a March Madness of our own here. I do miss college basketball. I'd say the only 2 weeks I really watch it, but there's probably not a better venue, or there's not probably a better event in sports just to be able to watch nonstop basketball of a bunch of kids that are just competing their hearts out. It really is quite a spectacle. I mean, colleges you don't know most of the players unless you really follow it. Is pretty cool. I always enjoy that. So definitely missing that this year. But hey, some things are more important. Well, the important thing is to have another March Madness, right? In 1957, Elvis Presley puts down a down payment on Graceland. So that's when he buys Graceland. 1957. And in the category of art, literature, and film history, In 1953, the first Academy Awards were telecast on NBC. Right, that's thrilling. Academy. Does anyone watch the Academy Awards? There's no way you guys watch the Academy Awards. Do you? Anyone? I haven't watched. I mean, award. I don't get award shows. I don't understand them. Why do I want to watch a show of already well-off folks that get plenty of attention, give themselves trophies? I don't get it. Let's talk sports. All right, what do you want to talk about? What sports are we talking about? The tooth. I see that. This is where we've gone as a society. Well, I'm definitely, as you can tell, missing some baseball. I was very, very ready for the Phillies this year. Love the manager. Always have. How can you not respect Joe Girardi? Um, and obviously having the pedigree of being a Yankees manager. He knows how to manage baseball. He understands the game. I think he was a good choice because he understands the balance between using analytics and also using I would, for lack of a better term, your baseball IQ. Listen, numbers are important. Data is important. Analytics. We live in a world anymore where everyone has to take a side on something. You're either pro analytics or you're against analytics, and if your opinion is different than mine, then you must be my enemy. And it's all gotten ridiculous, quite honestly. I think analytics are great. I think you should use them to your advantage as much as possible. I think they do tell you certain things and can help you help your decision making a little bit. But I think if I'm in a situation where I have, let's say, a pitcher that's out in the mound and they just clearly are dominating today, no one's really been able to make good, solid contact off them, and we're already two times through the lineup. I know, statistically speaking, the third time through, most pitchers, this is when they get hit. Right, that third time that major league hitter gets to see you, they generally hit off of you. That's what the numbers show. However, if I have a guy that's out there dealing, and he's about to go through his third time through the lineup, and his pitch count is doable, I don't see any signs of fatigue. I don't see any signs of him missing his spots, and there still isn't a batter that can square him up. He's staying in. I'm not using the numbers at that point. I'm going to go by what I'm actually witnessing. So I think that numbers can certainly help you, and I think you should use them. They're not all ridiculous. People take the stance like, it's ridiculous, you should never use numbers. Well, no, you should. You should pay attention to all that stuff, but you don't allow the numbers to dictate every decision that you make without actually also using, okay, this is what I know about this player, this is what I trust, and this is what I'm witnessing right now with my own eyes. So anyway, he's a manager that I feel that can balance that. He can take the analytics and use that when he needs to use it, and also go, hey, this is baseball. Let's not reinvent the game in every facet. Let's let the players play. And no one knows for sure. That's the thing, right? No one knows exactly how it's going to go. So, but I know I'm into that. NBA Finals predictions. God, that's hard. It's hard to say at this point, right? Because we're going to even have it. Well, I'll put it this way: it's not the Sixers. I've seen enough of that experiment that yeah, it's not the Sixers. That's for sure. It's a shame too, because I feel like, I love Embiid and I love Ben Simmons. As separate players, they're just really fun to watch. I mean, you can obviously tell they're special players. The question is, can they play together? I mean, that's really I don't think anyone knows. So I feel like they could, but I don't know. It seems like when one is off the court, the other one sort of shines a little bit more. I don't know. Do you keep Embiid and trade Simmons, or do you keep Simmons and trade Embiid? I would hate to see Embiid in another uniform. I really would. It would bother me. But I think the play there is, if you're forced, if you have to trade one of them, I would keep Simmons because I think he's going to have a longer career. I mean, you got a big man with Embiid's injury history. I mean, you're certainly rolling the dice. How many years, quality years, do you get from him? Um, and I really would hate to see him play for another team. But given his track record, not just injuries, but um, I don't know. I don't know the guy really takes it as serious as he probably should. And will he ever at this point? He's still a pretty young dude. Um, but when you hear stories of, when I grew up was Michael Jordan, all right? In my like your age of you guys, Michael Jordan was the dude. And he worked his tail off. I mean, he didn't come into the seasons unprepared. He didn't come in out of shape. He would take any injury extremely seriously and get back on the court. Um, Embiid has not shown that he will do that. So again, I would hate to see the dude in another uniform. I really would, but I would keep Simmons and I would trade Embiid while you can. Um, and I need a new head coach. I'm done with the Brett Brown experience. Someone's got to step in there and be the adult and take charge of the team. Say, Ben, you're going to shoot a 3-pointer, or I'm going to fine you. Start throwing it up, big boy. That's the way it's going to go. Anyway, what else are we talking about? I don't know. Are we isolating all the? Not that there's like 1,000 people in here, but are we isolating? We're having the Shannon and Madison. Are we boring you to tears with this sports talk? Not that girls can't like sports. Girls can like sports. Who is your favorite? I'm just answering. I see questions. I'm answering it. All right. Any ideas? Great points. Any ideas of finals matchup? Why do I feel like it's not great points? Why do I feel like there's a hint of sarcasm in there? Or maybe MVP of the season. MVP of the season. Jeez. Ugh. I don't know. MVP of the season. I guess we have to finish. I don't know. Can we have an MVP this year if it's an incomplete season? I don't know. I'm gonna pass on that one. I don't know who I would give MVP to. Finals matchup probably would be, I guess, Milwaukee. Right? I guess you're gonna have to go Milwaukee, and I don't know. Toss up between. Well, I don't know, the Lakers. I think you have to count them as serious. Um, I don't know. Lakers, Milwaukee, maybe my. I actually like to see that Giannis versus LeBron. We could add Giannis. We could have drafted him, but we decided not to. Just like we could add Kobe. We're like, yeah, we're good. You know. So right now, be playing in our backyard, but that's cool. Luca. No, no, sorry. I gotta. Favorite hip hop artist. All right. Well, here's where I'm gonna date myself. I'm still old school with hip hop. I mean, I try to get into some of the newer guys, but I just they're not. I'm not feeling it. I mean, a I've always been a well, it's so hard. Like, so what do you define as hip hop at this point? Are we doing like Kendrick Lamar? Are we talking that? I've always liked guys that can really rhyme and it makes sense. It's not like the cookie cutter, sort of follow these, check this off. I rapped about that. Um, I do like Kendrick Lamar. Um, I do like, well, I'm a big Notorious B.I.G. I know that's like really old school for you guys. But I'm a definitely a new Notorious B.I.G. fan. I liked him better than Tupac, so I was definitely like an East Coaster, I guess, more than the West Coast. Um, Eminem for sure. Yeah, Eminem's real. I mean, listen, his new stuff is cool. It's hard for me to take a 45-year-old, whatever he is, still acting like multi-millionaire, still angry at everybody. It's hard for me to, in my mind. I like Eminem can rap. I mean, there's no question about it. He's a very talented dude, but it's just hard for me to take like a 45-year-old man who's a multi-millionaire serious. His lyrics that he's still, still angry. Like, what are you angry about? What's the matter? What do we got now? just like enjoy your money, do something with it, do something good with it, help change the world with it. Let's see, what could you do with your money right now? I don't know, maybe donate a portion of that, and let's get some extra test kits around. Like in politics, we just had a mayor spend $500 million of his own money for like 10 days of a campaign. Maybe let's if it's that easy to spread the money around, let's take 500 mil and let's pay someone to produce some more ventilators. So this is when we need some of those folks, I think, to step up and help bail us out a little bit. So that's about as political as I'm going to get on the channel here, and that would be true for anyone with a lot of wealth. And believe me, a lot of wealthy people do a lot of good things for charities. I don't want to give the impression that they don't do that, because that would not be true. We just don't hear about everything. We tend to only hear about the bad stuff. We never really hear about the good stuff. So Eternal Take rating. You know what? I can't rate it because I don't know who Eternal Take is. So how do you like that? I'm now after this this little YouTube stream, I'm going to have to check out who Eternal Take is. They better be good after all the times you just put them up there in the live chat. Asking about the Keystones. I have known nothing about the Keystones. I don't. I have gotten no knowledge, boys and girls, of what's happening with school. I mean, we know nothing. Everything that I'm doing right now, I'm just doing on my own. As far as putting assignments up that again are there for extra credit, they're not there for that you have to do them or getting a grade. Doing little podcast, or I keep saying podcast, little YouTube streams like this, just to see how everyone's doing and say hi. But I don't know anything about the Keystones. I would say it depends on how long we're out of school. I will tell you that I know that this is not like a Ben Salem thing. This is going to be coming from the Department of Education in Pennsylvania. How the rest of this is going to go. All right, I think there's going to be very little, and this is just my opinion. I think this is going to be very little in what Ben Salem was going to say we're going to do. I think it's mostly going to come from the state Department of Education and the governor, how we're going to proceed. Because here's the thing: we're out for 2 weeks, which is great. I think it's a very smart move. I would have said a week before that we did this to slow the spread of it around and to give our healthcare system a chance to handle what we're about to probably go through. But my question is, what happens when we go back? I don't think that things are magically in 2 weeks going to be where the virus is no longer present. This is not something where we're going to cause the virus to go extinct. The virus is still going to be around, like all viruses are. I mean, if you guys think about it, our immune systems are inundated every day with various types of germs, bacteria, and viruses, and our immune systems generally will fight them off, and nothing happens. We don't even notice. Every once in a while, a virus or a bacteria makes its way through, and then we get sick. And then, so when you have a fever and your muscles ache, and you start getting congestion and your throat hurts, that's all from the inflammation from your immune system, trying to fight off the virus or the bacteria. So, again, not to scare anybody, but at some point in the next year, we are all probably going to be exposed to the coronavirus one way or another. The question is going to be how your immune system deals with it. Why we're trying to stop this from spreading is because we just don't want to all get it together at the same time in the same localized area. That's the big problem with this. Yes, for people who are in the elderly bracket and people who are what they call immunocompromised certainly have a better chance of suffering from the severity of what the virus could potentially do. Some people are asymptomatic, meaning they have it and they don't even develop symptoms at all. I will tell you that we're very new in studying this. And again, I've listened to, and this does by no means make me an expert on this, but we've listened to numerous experts talk about this. And each day a new podcast is coming out, and these guys and gals are learning something new every day about it. So, the thought was it was just generally the elderly that was getting it. And I never really liked the sentiment of, well, good. At least it's only the elderly, like they're expendable or something. I just found that sentiment to be very weird in just I mean, it's nice to be comforted if you're not elderly, that you're not, you have a great chance of being okay with this. So I'm not saying that it is comforting to know that, but in the same time, it's like, well, let's not just, oh well, I'm sorry, you're 70 years old and you've had a good life. You could have lived for another 15 years probably, but that's the way it goes. I just don't like that mentality. So if me staying home for a couple weeks and having to sacrifice certain things allows one of my neighbors to live another 15 years, I don't see how I could be upset about that. So I have no idea. You guys are like love versus the world. I don't know what that is. There has been two cases in of toddlers S stage. That is very true. So and like kids get it. It's not that you guys don't get it. You're not immune to getting it because you're 14. Um, it's just that you probably will not get it in any severe way. And again, thinking you could just be a carrier of it, so you can have the virus in your body and still spread it around to everybody else, and eventually you come across someone whose immune system isn't able to tolerate it well, and now you've given them the virus. So again, guys, I don't want to come across here as a medical expert because clearly I'm not, but I just, if I can relay um, what I'm listening to, and again, these are credible people. This isn't just some crackpot with a podcast. These are people who understand everything about this. They understand epidemics. They understand pandemics. They understand how viruses work. Again, the best thing you can do is wash your hands with soap. Remember, soap. The reason why you wash dishes, right, and get the grease off. The nice thing about this coronavirus is that it is this sort of RNA strand, so it's not DNA. It's not even alive. It's technically it's active or inactive, and it's got this RNA strand inside this sort of balloon that's covered in fat, in a lipid, and the little spikes that come off these little structures are protein structures, and this is why it's called a coronavirus, because depending on who you listen to, they say it's because under a microscope it either looks like a crown, which you can use the word corona for, or that it's like the sun. It looks like the rays coming off the sun. So in corona also, I think in Spanish corona is sun. Anyway, so the soap works by doing the whole thing with the soap and washing your hands for 20 seconds is what's basically doing is that soap is and the motion of you washing your hands is tearing apart the virus. All right, so you're sort of dissolving the fatty lipid that's around the RNA strand, and the little protein structures that come off of it are there to not only help protect it, but also that's how it attaches to one of your healthy cells, and that little protein strand is like a key that unlocks the entrance for the RNA to get into your healthy cell. And what it has to do is it hijacks your healthy cell, the machinery of your healthy cell, to then use to duplicate more of the virus. So the reason why it's not alive is because it's considered a parasite. It needs a host in order to continue to be active. So that's what it does. By you washing your hands, you basically destroy or break apart that lipid that protects the RNA and rendering it inactive. So this is why you do that. And I hope that helped. Just wash your hands a lot. Sanitizer is good. But again, you want to really rub your hands that same 20 seconds. I think a lot of people just do the squirt and quickly go like this. You still want to do the whole rubbing thing because again, that action is to try to get and dissolve and I guess break apart the virus if you happen to have it on your hands. So, but stay around. You don't have to stay inside. You're not in lockdown. You can go outside. Just maintain distance from people. It's go out, shoot some baskets, pretend like you're good at basketball. Go to the park, walk your dog, go listen to music, especially when it's nice out, get some sun on you. Just, we don't want like 20 of you hang out in someone's house in a neighborhood somewhere. Like it really isn't good to do that. And that's it. We ride this thing out. You read, watch some good YouTube videos, take some Khan Academy, learn how to play chess, just do something different. What else we got? I'm sorry, I haven't really been paying attention to your stuff here, and this is kind of going on long. Uh, I don't even know what love versus the world means. I'll admit it. Are these two rappers? Love versus the world. Someone help me out. Who is love? LUV. It's spelled wrong, by the way. We could do a little ASMR. ASMR. This will put you to sleep faster than looking at Renaissance art. Actually, that's not true. Renaissance art is pretty cool. He's a famous rapper. Oh, apparently not, because I've never heard of him. Jack. What do you think about that? He's a famous rapper. Okay, sure. So am I. But you didn't know I had that. Oh, wait. You said infamous. I'm famous. What about the world? Who's the world? How can you be the world? I'll have to check it out. So I have to check. I don't know the world. How can you name yourself the world? That's really like that's got a lot of weight to it, man. Like I'm the world. That's a lot of expectations. The world. So I have to wait. What else? Wait, there was something else I was supposed to check out from this. Love the world. What's the name of? Oh, it's the name of an album. All right, okay. So love versus the world. Why is he versing the world? What's he got against the world? There was another thing I was supposed to look up after this. Now, I'm going back in the comments here. I don't know. I'll look at it. You said I have to check it out. Where are the girls at? I mean, the boys are dominating this thing here. Girls still around? I haven't heard from Sage in a while, or Shannon, or Madison, just sitting there quietly, being good. You know, it's kind of like class. This is like class. Girls are sitting there doing their work. Boys, you know. Oh, sorry, Colin. You missed mine or two of their upstairs in their rooms getting work done. But if you go back and rewatch the first one from Tuesday, you get to meet my kids. They came and made a little cameo. Wow, Nick, that's very descriptive. Abrasively annoying. Not just annoying, but abrasively annoying. I can't do it. I'm all like geared up. I got all got wires and stuff in my makeshift studio here. I got an HD webcam because you definitely need to see this face in HD for sure. This good, nice Bluetooth microphone. Just have to sit and look at the pictures of the Renoir, the art in the back. Yeah, I could if I get that bored, Dan. I could do a tour. Like I could shoot something and just post it later. No Renoir. Looks like you say Renoir. It's RENOIR. Ren, like Ren and Stimpy. My favorite emoji. Let's see. Favorite emoji. I don't really use emojis a lot, man. Well, Colin, of course, yours. I don't know which ones. Let me see which one I use the most. I go into my texts. Which one do I use the most? Okay, for some reason, this is what I use the most. I don't see what they look like. We hardly get it to focus. Oh, come on. Hold on. I got a snare drum as my first one for some reason. I got the thumbs up. Actually, I use the deadpan a lot. The guy who's just like, I used the laughing, crying one a lot, apparently. The guy who goes like this. I use the thinker one a lot too. The guy's like, the world is going into anarchy. Let's hope not. Chaos, maybe. It's all panic. Remember, it's the power of thought. I mean, look, to be honest with you, you could go days, if not weeks, without food. You'd live. Water is one thing you want to make sure you have water. Make sure you have water. I mean, your tap water is fine, but in any kind of emergency situation, you want to make sure you have water. You can go a long time without food. Yeah, you'll be hungry for a little bit. You'll feel like crap for a little bit. You'll feel a little lethargic, but then your body will magically go, okay, he's not eating, but we're in luck. We have this thing called body fat. We can just go ahead and take body fat because body fat is just a bunch of energy. It's just a bunch of fatty acids all grouped together in an adipocyte cell. And it's like these three fatty acids are onto a glycerol backbone. So your body goes, okay, he's not eating. Let's get some of his fat so that it cleaves off the glycerol backbone, and it turns that and uses that for like the parts of your body that need to use glucose, like your red blood cells and your retina, and there's like a part of your brain that only runs on glucose. You don't actually have to eat glucose. Your body will make it if need be. It could take protein and turn it into glucose. It's called gluconeogenesis. So yeah, you can live off your body fat, and even if you're like the skinniest of people, which clearly I am, you still have hundreds of thousands of calories of body fat on you, under your skin, around some of your organs. So you're not gonna die from lack of food. Like I said, you'll be uncomfortable for like a day or two, but then you'll start producing ketones. You'll start, a lot of people are into like what's called intermittent fasting or even some fasting. Obviously, I'm not saying don't eat, but if it ever came down to that, and you can see our population out there, we would live probably a while without eating food. Um, you can always supplement with some salt. So, if anyone starts to feel getting headaches and things, like a little salt with your water can help. But I would care about water. Oh, what's going on here? What? Well, you guys are having your own little. Oh, PS4. It's not even a question. PS4 or Xbox? Xbox, get out of here. I've never had an Xbox. I don't even like the way it sounds. Xbox. Want to play Xbox? No, no, I don't. PS4 sounds like you're in for a treat. It sounds like you're into something. This is gonna be fun. We'll play some PS4. Xbox. I don't even know what. Are we boxing? And you have gloves? I don't know about that. No, I'm not into like classic. I'm not into that stuff. I'm into sports games. That's really all I've ever played in video games. I'm a big gamer with sports. I don't like the adventure games. I'm not. They don't really hold my interest. I like Madden. I used to be a big Madden junkie. Like where I'd literally play through a whole season in a day. Like I'd pull an all nighter and play through a whole season, franchise mode. This was back in the old days before there was a Mrs. Lee and children, and I had a real job. Um, I haven't been on though in a while, man. Like I'd love to play, but like I'm a big MLB The Show. I have that. The Bryce Harper cover I got. That's the last game I bought. I don't really have a chance to play games much. Now, actually, I might start getting back into it at least over the next week and a half. But I play the games. I play basketball, I play hockey, um, football, college, and Madden and baseball. That's all I ever do on games. I tried Assassin's Creed. I didn't dig it. Didn't hold my attention. Um, what else did I do? There was a game. There's like a shooter game, like a war game. I had like do like you were in World War II and you got dropped behind enemy lines and you were a sniper. I can't remember what that was called. Call of Duty, maybe Call of Duty. Haha, he said duty. Uh, MLB The Show for sure. Yeah, yeah. I also spent there's summers that I've spent many of the night hours sitting there playing the show. I'll have to start getting into it again. Uh, and I never really play online. I was never into playing online either. I know you guys all do that. Like that's a natural thing, but I always just played against the computer. Uh, yeah, I missed out on all that other stuff. I didn't really, I don't know. But yes, is that why? Is there any Xbox fans on this feed? Are the girls still here? You guys are awfully quiet. You got to jump in, man. You're letting the boys dominate. I'm still here. It's been a while, right?
It's been so long.
Huh?
Who's watching you today?
Huh? Who's what?
Who's watching you like right now?
A couple more folks. Did you get all your work done?
Yeah.
Yeah? Is it all good?
I didn't have any work, so.
Well, from this morning you did, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, for the new folks, this is my daughter, Grace. Say hi to the people.
Hi.
Where's George?
George, get your butt in here.
He doesn't have to come. Just seeing what he was doing. Shannon says hi.
Hi. I'm coming.
I didn't. You don't need to come. I just was saying what you're doing.
Yeah. Hello.
You ever hear of a brush?
What?
Did you ever hear of a brush?
What?
A brush. You know, the thing that goes through your hair and
Yes,
organizes
I know.
it in a way that looks like you're.
Yes, I know what a brush is.
Okay.
Why would I not know what a brush is?
Do we brush our teeth today, by the way?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Why did
Okay.
you have to say that?
Huh?
Why did you have to say
I don't know. I gotta stay on top of you guys. Did you get all your work done?
Yeah.
All right. You know how to solve the Rubik's Cube now, right? You know all the algorithms?
What? Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh yes, Yes, I do.
The way I solved the Rubik's Cube was just to break it apart and put it all back together again.
Yeah.
That's how I did it.
That's the classic mode. It's the easy mode. It's easy mode solve. Easy mode.
Yeah. All right, I'm done with you guys. You can split. Goodbye.
Bye.
I'm almost done. We'll get
I'm not going back up.
get that going, yeah.
Bye.
Anyway. All right. Well, this has been a good hang. I gotta get going here. I gotta go and I don't know, do something productive. But yeah, I'm gonna do more of these. So if you guys are into it, if you want to hang, we certainly can. I'll put it up online. You know, I'll just say this is what I'm doing. You know, I don't know if I'm gonna do it every day because this might get old. We have more things to talk about, but you know, every day is like the weekend now, right? There's really no Monday through Friday and then the weekend. So like every day feels like Saturday at this point. So you know, we'll be back again soon, and hope you guys stay safe and you know, have fun, but learn something. You know, that's sort of my personal challenge to you guys. Come back whenever it is that we do come back to school. Come back, picking up something new. You know, take a new course, maybe a little bit more of a language. Read a book. There's plenty of free ones online. That's for sure. There's a lot of sites that are offering free memberships and trials right now because they realize everyone's at home. And the potential for more people being at home in the next week or two. So, you know, take advantage of all those things. But again, try to maintain the social distancing thing. I know it seems like how can it matter? And you know, we're not really, fortunately, so far in this area, we're not really seeing big numbers. But you know, you see how fast that really can change. So, and if we stay apart, maybe we'll really slow that down, and we won't actually see the numbers climb like we've seen in other areas. So that's really kind of the point, if you will. So anyway, you guys take care. I'm sure you can continue this chat later, but you know, might jump on tomorrow if something comes up. If not, sometime this weekend, and see you guys on the social media. I try to do so. I haven't really done anything on TikTok or anything lately, but I do follow some of you on there. So watching some of the things that you guys do was kind of fun. But anyway, this is like the longest goodbye ever. Until next time, stay healthy, and we'll see you.